this video is going to cover pre-algebra divisibility and factors. What we want to do is to see if one number is divisible by another number, meaning it goes into it without going over. If you divide two numbers and the number that you're checking to see if it's divisible by, if you can divide the two numbers and it doesn't go over or there's no remaining, then the numbers are divisible, or the number is divisible. So let's start with number 1. It asks us, is 60 divisible by 2? So let's see, does 2, and in this worksheet, I'm going to teach you some different rules to check to see if a number is divisible by another number, just so you don't have to do long division every time. You could use a calculator, but let's say you didn't have a calculator. But so let's check to see 60 by 2. So the rule with 2 is if this number is ending in a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, or if it's an even number, then 2 is divisible by that. So because 60 is an even number, because it ends in 0, 60 is divisible by 2. So we end up getting yes for number 1. Number 2. Is 49 divisible by 6? So the rule for the 6's is if 2 and 3 go into the number you're interested in its divisibility, then 6 also does go into it. So let's check for 2. Does 2 go into 49 evenly without going over? No. The reason it doesn't is because 49 is an odd number. So already we know it is not. And I'll show you the rule for 3 when we get down to it. Okay, number 3. Is 92 divisible by 10? The rule for 10 is if the number is ending in a 0, then 10 is divisible by that number. So looking at 92, 92 ends in a 2, not a 0, so 92 is not divisible by 10. Okay, number 4. 72 by 6. So again, with the 6, if 2 and 3 both go into it, then 6 goes into it. So we start with the 2. I'm going to write 2 and 3. We'll see if they both go into it or not. So for the rule for 2 is, does 2 go into 72? Yes, it does, because 72 ends in a 2. It's an even number. Does 3 go into 72? So the rule with 3 is you add the 2 digits of 72. So in that case, we have 7 plus 2, which ends up equaling 9. 3 does go into 9, yes, which means 3 does go into 72. So, and that only works with 3. You can't do it with all numbers. So if 2 and 3 both go into 72, then 6, yes, does go into 72. Number 5. 66 by 3. Is 66 divisible by 3? So what we do is we add the 6's. 6 plus 6 gives us 12. Does 3 go into 12? Yes, so 66 is divisible by 3. Number 6, 72 by 3. Well, we did that in number 4, but we'll do it again. If we add 7 plus 2, we end up getting 9. 3 does go into 9, so 3 does go into 72, yes. And in some cases, it's easier to check to see if 3 goes into a number. Looking back on number 5, if you don't have a lot of experience with it, but then it might be a little bit more difficult. But checking to see if 3 goes into 66, if you can't, with different numbers, if you can't do it right away, sometimes it's easier to do 3 into 12 than it is 3 into 66. So that's why these rules sometimes are a little bit easier to use. Okay, number 7. Is 684 divisible by 9? Similar to the 3, we add up all the digits, and if 9 goes into the sum of the digits, then 9 goes into that number. So let's add up 6 plus 8 plus 4. We end up getting 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 4 we end up getting 18. Is 18 divisible by 9, or does 9 go into 18 evenly without going over? Yes, it goes into it 2 times without going over, so 684 is divisible by 9. And that rule only applies to 3 and 9s. Okay, number 8. 555 divisible by 3. So again, we add up 5 plus 5 plus 5. We end up getting 15. 3 goes into 15 evenly, so yes, 555 is divisible by 3. Number 9. 608 by 2. Because 608 is an even number, it is divisible by 2. Yes. Okay, number 10. 767 by 9. So let's add up the digits. 7 plus 6 plus 7. 7 plus 6 gives us 13, plus 7 gives us 20. 9 does not go into 20 evenly, so no. 767 is not divisible by 9. Number 11. 708 by 6. So again, we'll do 2 and 3, and we'll check both. Does 2 go into 708? Yes, because 708 is an even number. Does 3 go into 708? So we add 7 plus 0 plus 8. We end up getting 15. 3 does go into 15, so 3 does go into 708. Yes. Because now 2 and 3 both go into 708, 6 does also, so the answer is yes for number 11. Number 12. 780 by 10. Again, the rule for 10 is if the number ends in 0, then 10 can go into it evenly. Because 780 ends in a 0, it is divisible by 10. And this video was on divisibility and factors.